Hello, everybody. Let other people know that I am live. Let's let the fam know. Uh, Whoops. Why does that copy? Whoop. Oh no, Silva, they working you so hard? How was dinner? I know you went out the other day for dinner with your friend who visited from out of town. Was good? That's great. Pokemon style jelly donuts, so gonna get those tomorrow. Oh my goodness. That's hilarious. Okay. Okay. I should share the tweet. Or so it's funny. Hold on, let me. Okay. So is it a specific store that has the jelly donuts, or is it something that like you know someone who makes them? Because I remember binging with Babish did uh did a thing a while back of like I think it was anime with Alvin or something, Oh, the restaurant has them. Nice. That sounds so silly. All right, let's get over to the just chatting screen. I've let people know that I am live. That sounds so silly and so funny because I remember, so like binging with Babish, I remember did a double feature where they had one thing that was them making the onigiri, and then the other one was them trying to make a jelly donut that looked like an onigiri. And it was so ridiculous. Let me find a picture of what that thing looked like. It was so silly. Let me find an image of this. Here it is. So I don't know if yours are gonna look like this, but this, when you talked about Brock's Jelly Donuts, this is instantly what I thought of. Whoop. That's what the ones look like when binging with Babish made them. It's a jelly donut. Now I'm imagining like a deep fried onigiri with the jelly filling. Like imagine like crispy rice. That's what I'm imagining. Well, like rice balls are a very Japanese thing, so like I'm actually surprised they even kept that scene in the episode. They didn't just cut it out and edit it away. Like they edited so many other things out. Like, you know, I could just see them doing. I think kids would have figured it out, and I think it would have been a great conversation starter, because then it would have been a thing where like here's the thing, they're shooting for like 4 to 7 year olds. Getting 4 to 7 year olds to even eat rice a lot of times is a challenge. So like trying to explain that something is a ball of rice with a flavoring in it is challenging. Like teenagers have figured out, but they weren't making Pokemon for teenagers. It wasn't intended for teenagers, at least not the American translation. And not at that point. Like Japanese culture hadn't been spread or popularized as much as it is today. But it could have been like a good conversation starter if they'd left it in, because then the kids would have been like asking their parents, what's a rice ball? And then the parents would have been like, I don't know what a rice ball is. And then the parents would find out, right? So I think it could have been a good learning experience also for a lot of young kids whose parents watch the shows with them. Like if you had like a lot of times parents would watch TV with their kids to make sure that their kids were watching good stuff. So I think that could have been a really good conversation starter for that happening in the episode. But like, I remember when I saw them, I didn't know what they were. When he described them, I thought that that was like shredded coconut on top of the donut. I thought they were triangle shaped donuts with shredded coconut on top. But yeah, that is. I mean, it was a white thing, so I thought it was shredded coconut. If they'd said rice ball, I would have been like, that's a triangle, not a ball. I was also older than the target age. I would say I was like early, I think I was like 8 or 9. Well, like, not exactly, because like, I know what a donut is. I didn't know what a rice ball was. So I would have been really confused if he'd said a rice ball. Especially because it was a triangle and not a circle. I'm just saying, like, at that point in time, at that specific point in history, I can see why they made the decision they did. I think it's silly. But like, that was what they went with. I don't like. I know from thinking back about myself as a kid, if they'd said rice ball, I would have been really confused. Like, I was also a very dumb kid. Like, I thought all anime was made by one company called Japanimation, because that's what somebody told me. And it was like, it was before the internet, before you could look things up, and like, you know, you'd have that one person who'd tell you the wrong thing that you believed for your entire life. Because like, that was what we believed. You know, at least But yes, when you mentioned the jelly donut, I was like, oh yes, the jelly of the donut. So it's funny, seeing seeing some of the stuff about the new HoloLive EN generation is just kind of funny. Like, there's this one I was watching today, Bijo, with like her lore is apparently that she's like a gemstone, and like her whole thing is that she's a rock, she's a gemstone, and she calls her fan base the Pebbles or whatever, and like she's a complete meme lord. And when she was doing her likes and dislikes thing on her debut, she like leaned into the joke. And like on the likes and dislikes, she opened up, she exited the display mode and went into editing the actual slides she was using, and she was like, delete all of my dislikes and then just put pickaxes, and was like, I don't like pickaxes. We don't like pickaxes here. Pickaxes break all of my rock friends. I don't like them. I'm okay with everything else, just not pickaxes. And so, of course, when that happened, the chat was all like spamming the pickaxe emoji, right? And Kanaru, this animator who they do a lot of stuff for Hololive and Niji, I don't know what they were doing, but they put together an entire animation in no time flat of Bichu's avatar like saying that and being like in an open field and had Kayla, one of the Hollow ID members who's known for being good at Minecraft, had Kayla sneak up behind her and then chuck a pickaxe, and then it ends with a to be continued as the pickaxe is about to like bonk her in the head. It was absolutely hilarious. And people are like, fastest animator in the West. I'm like, so true, Kanaru. I think it's pronounced Kanaru. Alright. Oh. Apparently they got Mr. Beast to star in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, Mutant Mayhem. Oh, hey Nabaru. So Silva was saying that the restaurant they went to had Proc jelly donuts from Pokemon on the menu, and that they're gonna go back tomorrow in order to get the jelly donuts. And when they mentioned the jelly donuts, I was like, oh, I remember binging with Babish did a thing about that. So I found the thumbnail to show. But I can remove that. And we were having a healthy disagreement on how that could have been represented at the time. Silva's, I'm sure as you've heard before when Silva's talked about it, adamantly stated that if they just explained it was a rice ball with tuna and mayo filling, that kids would have understood. And I'm of the opinion that, like, I know when I was a kid, I would have been thoroughly confused. But I knew what a donut was, which is probably why they chose to go with a donut for the dubbing. Are you familiar with that scene, Nabaru, where in the first season of Pokemon, where Brock holds up a tray of onigiri, and the dub says, "I love donuts. My favorite are the jelly-filled kind." Oh, you made some jelly-filled donut memes? Oh no. Mm. Oh, sounds like more politics are being sus and frustrating. Uh, okay. But yes, jelly-filled donut memes. So apparently they released a new Pokemon game, Pokemon Sleep, that like is like a sleep tracker or something. Someone shared an image that they got a shiny Snorlax in Pokemon Sleep, a green Snorlax. And I don't know if that's, I don't know anything about the game, so I don't know if that's a reward for getting good sleep or if it's just a rare thing that happens. But I think it's interesting because like the Pokemon Company with their game releases has been trying to do so many things to encourage the fan base to be healthy. Oh no, there's a jelly donut gift for me? Where's the jelly donut gif? Is it in the memes page? Where is this jelly donut gif? Onigiri bonks. The jelly donut bonking her on the head. I guess. It's about as effective against her. It's about as effective with the jelly donut filled spikes. Oh no! All the jelly donut memes. Ugh. Okay. So this Friday is my birthday. It's weird that kind of snuck up on me. It's funny, my partner reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I don't know what to get you for your birthday." And I was like, I didn't know about either. So I was like really quick looking because I was like, there's not really any physical things I want unless they wanted to like buy me an RPG book or something. But like I just quickly looked on Steam. I found there was a few games and I was like, hey, these games are on sale for around the price range you said you're okay with spending if you want to buy me one of them. And one of the games was Monster Hunter Rise, and apparently my partner and their sibling and one of the other friends have been really getting into Monster Hunter Rise recently, and have just recently be getting into it. And they're like, well, if I bought you Monster Hunter Rise, we could play together. I was like, that's true. Now I'm a little bit worried about frying my computer because it's towards the upper end of what because it's going to overheat my computer. My laptop has heating issues. Like whenever my new computer gets here, no problem. We're fine. Everything's goopy, everything's gravy. But for the time being, till my new computer gets here, it's always like, am I going to be okay? But I have it on the lowest setting and I've been playing, and it's funny because like Monster Hunter World, I played when it came out, right? And then by the time I played it with my partner on PC and started over, on PC. I had played for hours on Xbox, so I knew the controls. I knew how to do things, and I sunk so much time into Monster Hunter World, learning all of the moves, the maneuvers, building the muscle memory, and just learning all the monsters. I watched so much Monster Hunter World content. I was keeping up with so many things with builds and all the new monsters, and I knew all of the stuff. But like Rise, I haven't followed. I haven't followed any of the Rise content really. So it's all kind of new to me, which is nice. It's all kind of new to me, and because I don't want to put too much strain on my computer. I'm not playing like for hours on it. And also, I have so many things going on in my life right now that I can't really sink the hours and hours into the game that I used to sink into Monster Hunter. So that makes it interesting. It makes it very interesting and very different. I'm still playing Greatsword. I'm probably not going to branch out. Like in World, I played Greatsword, Longsword, and Lance. I dabbled in Insect Glaive, but my mains were Greatsword, Longsword, and Lance. Longsword I just did because it was fun. It was fun being an anime character. I don't know if it's the same thing in Sunrise. See, I keep wanting to combine Sunbreak and Rise to make Sunrise, but that's not how that works. But I don't know if it's the same in Rise, but in World and Iceborne, Longsword was the single most popular weapon. Like all of the online polls and stuff for like favorite weapon, primary weapon, most used weapon, all the data that they collected from online lobbies and stuff of most used weapons, it was always like Longsword was on top. It was so powerful, it was so fluid, and that was part of why flinch free had to be on almost every casual casual set. You had to put flinch free, because if you didn't have flinch free, you were kind of just getting tripped up by the 1 to 3 longswords in your party, which is kind of funny. But Lance, I might pick up Lance. Lance I have a special interaction with, because Lance was what I picked up when I was up against an opponent that I could not defeat with Greatsword. Like, I faced Arc-Tempered Nergigante before Iceborne came out, using Lance, and it was one of the most brutal and most rewarding fights I've ever done. I had to memorize his entire movement pattern. I had to build a specific set for it, and it was just, I had to know when to block, know when to poke. It was block, poke, 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 block, poke, 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 jump, poke, 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 jump, poke, 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 jump, block, block, and it was this whole thing. And like, it felt so good winning that fight after like a week and a half of trying. And I'm kind of getting some of those same vibes from one of the monsters in Rise, Magnamalo, the new whatchamacallit, the flagship, the one that's like on the cover. Yeah. Very much classic gaming, Nabiru. Very much classic gaming. And so I might pick up Lance. It's weird because like I want to get the experience of playing through Rise, but because I'm joining Rise so late, we have all of the whatchamacallits, all of the title updates for Rise already. And a lot of people complained about Rise that like the first like one to three I think it was like 1 to 3 title updates were stuff that was originally supposed to be in the game at launch but then just wasn't done in time. And some people said it took the first couple title updates for Rise to actually get to be the game it should have been. So like I'm getting that full experience with like all of the quality of life updates and things that make it the most playable version. Though there is one thing that bugs me about it, right? Well, not about Rise, but about Sunbreak, because obviously Sunbreak is the sequel to Rise. You want to get through Rise to get to Sunbreak, right? And get to Master Rank and all that jazz, right? My partner was like, "Hey, don't be careful and don't update to Sunbreak. If you do, it might delete your save." And I remember when my partner mentioned that in the lobby we were in, we were like, me and one other person were like, "Are you sure that's a thing?" Like that was like Sunbreak just got its last title update. I mean, that sounds like the kind of thing that gets patched out in like the early part of the game's development. And partner's like, no, like a lot of people were just really unhappy. There's a lot of negative reviews about Sunbreak on Steam. And like my partner's friend was like, a lot of people I know really liked Sunbreak, but they were playing it on Switch. And then I was like, yeah, I've heard a lot of really great things about Sunbreak. So I went and I did the research. I was like, you know, I'm gonna go read the reviews. And sure enough, there are people within this last year that have been picking up Rise and Sunbreak because they're on sale so heavily. Like, and people have been picking up Sunbreak that hadn't picked it up, and it's just deleting their like multiple 100-hour save files are just getting corrupted and deleted. And I'm like, holy cow. Some people are trying to be like, well, those people are obviously using mods if their game's getting corrupted. It's like, no, it's everybody. And it's a bug that's been there apparently in the PC version since Sunbreak came out. It's been a problem that's been happening to people. And some people, it even corrupts their game where they have to like delete the entire game and re-download it just to be able to play it. And for a lot of people, they were just like, it's not worth it. And I think that's really sad that like it's a PC exclusive problem that hasn't been fixed in the 2 years. No, it was like a year since Sunbreak was released. And I'm like, that's kind of sad face. I know one of the things I want to get whenever I get my new computers, I want to get the new Armored Core. And I'm looking forward to playing the new Armored Core, but I'm wondering what that's going to be like because Armored Core is always an intense one. I never did finish my Armored Core series I wanted to do. I wanted to play through all of the Armored Cores, but then I just never got around to it. Like, I don't know, it's not that I got Armored Core out. I was just like, I got to the end of Armored Core 3, and I kind of wanted to like farm up a bunch of stuff before I moved on. I almost did an Armored Core stream tonight, just to dig it up and be like, yo, let's play some more Armored Core 3. But I thought better of it. Anyway, let's get going. It's about 9 o'clock, so let's dig into the meat and potatoes of tonight's stream. It's funny, I put that this is a game dev stream when I announced it on Twitter, and this person who's like a video game developer followed me and liked my tweets, and I feel so silly because I was like, I'm doing TTRPG, not a video game development. I feel so silly. And like even among the TTRPG development stuff, I'm doing Pbta development, which is very rules light. And I'm trying to go for a very rules light design. Anyway, let's get to it. Gonna break down some stuff. I have some stuff to update in my notes. I take, whenever I'm trying to sleep, if I have an idea, I take notes on my phone, and then I eventually move them from my phone to my computer by typing them down. And I haven't done that, which is why I was like, I have this pile of notes that I need to move from my phone to my computer, so I might as well do that on stream. You know? Also, how was your weekend, Nabiru? What did you get up to? Okay. Some usual gaming with friends, binged an anime though not impressed by it. What anime did you binge, Nabiru? The Eminence in Shadow. What's that one about? That sounds really neat. Let me Google it. Excuse me. It was better in blank. What was it better in a manga? Oh, looks like it's something about a chuny. Oh gosh, it's a chuny whose dreams all came true. Oh no. I'm reading some of the reviews saying it got turned into a generic harem anime. It always was? Okay. He rescues people afflicted with a curse and they join his shadow organization to fight an evil cult. That's his Chunibyo delusion. It's all true, but he doesn't know it. Oh. So have you been following any of the new Hololive girls, Nabiru? All right. Apparently one of them eats her food with scissors. So I had a Lancer session this weekend. And like we ended up starting late, but like we made it work and it was still really fun. And like there was a lot of character development and there's a lot of like traumatic experiences for the characters, because like they had met one character who had like they'd recently just had this NPC join their crew of their ship who essentially killed an entire planet. And was flying the planet through space. And the party decided to take the planet and deliver it to this group of space knights. And while investigating the planet as they were en route, they found the lab where this person's family had been taken and tortured and experimented on, right? Oh, is that the demon of soup? People like when they said the demon of sound image, it like the D was covered up so it looked like it said demon of soup. Like I gotta, yeah. So they found the body of this family member of an NPC, and one of the players who left the campaign, as part of a reward they'd gotten from delving into this time-space vault, had been a technique to use this like magical MacGuffin material that the party had recovered in order to create a thing that could undo death. And they wanted to use it on this person's body to bring back this person, to bring this kid back to life. And they asked me, would this character, because like the player had left the campaign and told me, you know, the character was going to be taking a back seat, is going to be handling administrative stuff in the background of the ship, right? And so they're like, okay, we want to use this, and I'm like, I don't know if that character would do that. So I messaged the player. I'm like, hey, you know, you're not in the campaign, but like for this character, would this character use the anti-death medicine in this situation? I tried to quickly and succinctly describe the situation, and she said, if this one player character asked her to do it, she'd do it. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we did it. We rolled to see if the medicine was effective. It was effective. There was cries of jubilation and emotional feeling, and so the running joke with these two characters that were doing their session is that every time the two of them are on their own, they get people killed. That they make decisions that get people killed, right? And there was an opportunity where I could have been a douchebag. Like, I could have been a jerk game master and made that happen again, because there was an opportunity for it to have happened again off screen. But I didn't do it, because I'm like, these characters have suffered enough trauma with having to deal with a planet full of dead bodies. Like having to deal with a planet full of dead bodies has been trauma enough I'm not gonna throw on more guilt with more people getting killed. And also, like, I realized that I didn't want to be that bloodthirsty game master. I want human life to have value, and that was part of what I was going for this session, was that I wanted, like, because one of the players had mentioned, hey, you know, this such and such person killed an entire planet, and we're all okay with it. And I kind of took that personally. Not that I thought that they shouldn't be okay with it, but that I was like, yeah, I don't want the human life to be so willy-nilly that it just seems like it's costless, right? So I made sure that the characters who went down to the planet saw the bodies and saw the cost of this person's campaign of revenge. And I think it worked really well. And I'm also very grateful because my players humored my delusions. I mean, all of the game is delusions. Anyway, let's get to it. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Okay, so let me show you what we've got and what I've got to change. We've got a lot of stuff here, and what I want to do is I want to take a lot of these ideas. I want to take a lot of these ideas and boil them down to a really simple form that I can start handing people and I can start putting together to do some play testing. I want to start doing play testing sometime soon to see what works and see what doesn't. So let's start making some changes and put some stuff in my notes. Then I'll start transferring things over to a document that I can share with other people. Okay. Okay, so we are going to make things a lot more fluid. Empathy. Okay, so change two of the things. Instead of having a pilot stat and a finesse stat, because you're going to be the idea of having a pilot stat feels disingenuous because you're like your mech pilots, you're going to put the most in your pilot stat. But the idea is that you can pilot anything. You can pilot using any stat. And it just becomes about how you do it. Are you doing it with passion? Are you doing it with brute? Okay, here we go. Caring. Okay. Got the links. Now let's change up the moves. Okay. Oh, well, that was not the button I wanted. Okay. Okay. Does weapon customization harm or conditions? Choose one more. And then these are... allies. Another area. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to. So Let's Get Ready to Rumble is a design that's based on the kind of moves I saw in Worlds in Peril, where the stat you used for the role was based on how you were doing it, where your stats were basically your approaches to how you dealt with things, and and that led to an increased flexibility that I really liked in the game. And I could lean into that, but I liked how simple Masks was, where like in masks you just knew it was this stat. You just knew you were rolling plus this stat. So then when it came to knowing what you do with your stats, you would know that you do the thing. Ugh. Let me take a look. What is, because I want to do take a powerful blow. Okay. Let me take a look at take a powerful blow, because I think take a powerful blow does it really well. I like take a powerful blow. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. This is what I'm looking at here. And what I'm trying to do is really ascertain how much of this idea I want to use. So I got a lot of inspiration for the latest design of this stuff from Simple World, a PDF someone did of like a quick 10-page thing for making a PBTA game, and it was their response. It was this person's response to seeing how there were like so many like 30+ page documents about playing PBTA games, and they wanted to dispel the kind of mentality that in order to be a PBTA game, you have to have pages upon pages of text and concepts. And so they boiled a lot of these common traits of PBTA games down into these very simple and very generalistic terms, and I've used a lot of that stuff in order to come up with a lot of these designs. So that's where I'm getting a lot of that stuff from. Okay, let me take a look at masks. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say choose one more. Okay. So this is where they're gonna choose. Uh, uh, Hey, Superhero 60, how are you doing? How was your weekend, Superhero 60? Your weekend is going well? That's great. Did you do anything exciting or anything special? Not really, but it was still just a good weekend? Okay. Hey, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Alright, I want to loosen these up. So I want to say, like, the main battle move is whatever stat applies. So like in battle, it's whatever stat you're applying. That's your main battle stat. Which that's fine. That's probably going to be the most used move in the game. Because it's going to be what's used for combat, and it's going to be a combat heavy game. Let's see. Okay. I think we have most of the basic moves laid out. How many moves is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I already did that. And I just went through all that to design that? I like my original thing better than just copying this. Okay. So this is where we run into this interesting thing where mechs take harm, pilots take conditions. Where I'm combining these two systems in order to create something. I still need to read Beam Saber, a game I just recently got. I just got it, so I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Read much of it. I might run a few games of Beam Saber with my friends. All right. How did I have this? I had the end of turn I had the end of session. Ah, that's it. Okay, yeah, I like that better. Okay, hold on. Let me change my wording. Okay, so the main theme of this game is is the link system, where pilots have links that is a numerical value that represents how much they care about persons, places, and things, how much they care about things outside of themselves. And what makes the pilots special is that they can sacrifice their links, they can sacrifice their connection with the outside world in order to gain success, in order to turn any role into a successful role. It won't turn it into a critical success, but it will turn it into a success. And that's a big deal for the characters, and I want to lean into that as the descriptor of what I'm doing in this game. To do a thing where that's like the defining thing in the world, that the pilots have these links that they sacrifice, and I want that theme to be running throughout the game as the main thing that that defines the game and sets it apart. You could be fighting enemy mechs from another country, you could be fighting monstrosities from another realm, but whatever thing suits your campaign of what you're fighting. But the one thing that holds true is that your pilots who are balancing your desire to be connected to the outside world and to each other with your desire for success. Which I think is an interesting inversion of the bond system in Worlds in Peril, where in Worlds in Peril, your bonds represent how much things care about you, and you sacrifice how much something cares about you in order to gain success. Here I'm flipping that and saying it's how much you care about something, and you're sacrificing how much you care about something in order to do more. And we're gonna have EXP as a reward for failure, but you're not gonna fail very much because of how much you're adding, like how much you're gonna be adding to your rolls. You're not gonna be failing all that much. So then let me do this. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Nabiru. Ah. Ah. Okay. Sorry about the sneeze there. Hmm. Okay. So Simple World suggests like gilding one stat and saying when you roll with that stat, you mark a uh uh you mark an XP. I think that works. Let me see, what did I do here? What did I do? Did I mark on here that it's 1 customization to pilots, 3 to mechs? Okay. No, I had something else. Hold on, I had something else here. I remember I wrote something else. Borderline, they take a penalty. Maintenance session. Here we go. This is something I want because I want to encourage players to try to push themselves and do the borderline. Okay, there we go. And Okay. I gotta do the scars thing. How did I do this? Here we go. Yeah, we'll do. What's another word for scars? Like in Illuminated Worlds, Darrington Press's Critical Role's new game, they use scars. In one of the games I'm studying from Storm Heart Circuit Odyssey, they use trauma. I want some kind of a name for a permanent mark that like changes the wearer, a permanent mark left by injury or experience. So I guess that would be trauma. Let me see what some trauma synonyms. We'll go with we'll go with scars. Alright, why am I being distracted again? I was just looking up stuff about Kanaru. Okay. We're gonna go with trauma. Because trauma can be physical or mental. You go to mark a condition, and all of them are already marked. They go down. Okay. Cool. So we introduced the trauma system. Battle Buddy lets you remove conditions, but also introduce montages. What did City of Mist used montages in order to clear things? Mask also did, but like masks were like very immature, childish, teenage stuff. I don't want to deal with that. And I don't want to pigeonhole my players and say they have to do certain things to remove the condition, like they have to break a car or something like that. I want them to have some kind of a thing to process that. So a battle buddy is whenever you try to comfort someone else. Where one person rolls. So there's that, right? There's the battle buddy, where you can try to help your allies. I don't think it would be a move per se. I think it would just be a mechanic. Okay. We'll use the links for it. We'll use the links. Okay. There we go. So we put that there, where the pilots have a way that they can help themselves recover, and you can help your allies recover. Why? Okay. All right, so I think we have most of the stuff nailed down. We have the ways that pilots take injury, the way that mechs take injury, the way that mechs are repaired, the way that pilots are repaired. Have most of the basic moves covered, have the stats covered, So now I just got to translate all of this from this random scattered about notepad. Well, I still have to do the GM stuff, but that's stuff that I'll figure out as I go. The GM moves and the GM stuff I'll figure out as I go through playtesting. Because, like, hold on, let me take a look at Simple World. Oh, I have to write down the XP stuff. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I have to, let me write the XP stuff. That was the other thing I was supposed to do. Okay. So the ways of marking XP are going to be failing, succeeding at borderline, um, uh, well, so that what I want to encourage. Then they're going to have the ones they can gain at the end of the session. What kind of gameplay do I want to encourage? That's an important question for me to ask myself, right? And like I want to encourage. Let me save what I've got so far so I don't lose anything. I want to encourage the players building connections, and so you learn from your mistakes, you learn from your failures. So you're going to build an XP for failing. You want to be constantly pushing your limit, so that's why you're going to build an XP for borderline. Yeah, I could see. We'll try it. We'll try it. It might be too much. It might lead to too much leveling up too fast. But I think with how things are balanced over the course of over the course of a session, since you can't take multiple things, like, yeah. Well, the thing is, hold on. The simple world doesn't do the simple world just does that. So simple world does that in place of the failure trait. We're gonna try it. We're gonna smooth it out for now. We're gonna just try the basic failure trait and the stuff that we have already defined. Session move. Okay. It's funny, I have my phone set to a black and white filter so that way it doesn't wake me up whenever I like get an idea and go to put it in my notebook, but I've just gotten so used to my phone being black and white. It's just really funny. XP, that's where I wrote it down. Okay. I probably should have limitations to how many times they could choose these. But the thing is, as their stats get better, they're going to fail less often. Like, yes, they can also succeed in borderline uses of their powers. And it's going to be a thing where, like, they could, if they're attempting a borderline use of their power, they could sacrifice a link to guarantee success, which would then gain them an XP, which lets them essentially trade the links for EXP, which is kind of the theme of the game. I still need a name for the game though, which I tried asking on one of my friend's servers for ideas for names, and people are like, well, what's the game about? I'm like, I don't actually know yet. And they pointed out that, like, it's kind of hard to come up with names for something if I don't know what the game's actually about. Like, I'm trying to design a very, like, that's the thing with Pbta games, is that they're very focused on providing a very specific type of gaming experience. So you have a very specific type of gaming experience that you're trying to achieve here. Okay. So yeah, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for a name. So, like, I was thinking about, like, doing, so since this is based on the Apocalypse World engine, right? I was thinking something about, like, Mech Apocalypse, but that's the name of a book, and I don't really like that because so I was thinking, because it's mainly going to be super robots, right? I was thinking like Super Robot Apocalypse, or something like that. But well, I was like, I like Super Robot Apocalypse better than I like Super Robot World, because Super Robot World is SRW, which is the same thing for Super Robot Wars. Well, the thing is, this is a TTRPG where, like, you can build whatever kind of character you want, right? So there's not really a main character's kind of machine, but if I come up with a name for the mechs, that could be something. Like if I come up with a name for the mechs. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. No, Steel Hearts is already taken. Excuse me. Something stupidly long that gets shortened. Generic word. I want something to do with the link system, because that's like the core mechanic, is the link system. That's like the core mechanic of the game. And I definitely want there to be some kind of representation for it. So that's a thought. I gotta think about that. Alright. While we think about that, I'm gonna start putting together a player's guide that I can hand out to other players that want to play the game. Link start. Oh my gosh. Maybe like Steel Links. I like that. Link or Link Steel. Instead of Link Start, be Link Steel. Because they're mechs, they're metal, right? Link Metal. Metal Links. Mecha Links. Link Mecha. Link Mecha makes you think that their mechs are going to combine into a giant robot, and that's not really a thing I have planned for this game. It's not that that can't be a thing. That's just not what I intended. You are the weakest Link. Oh no! Oh no, Nabiru! Oh my gosh, weakest Link. That takes me back. I think I got all my notes. Scars, end of session moves. Level up. New combat. New pilot stats. New conditions. Okay. Alright. So I got all the stuff from my phone notes translated into the notes I have here. Let me look over. Let me see here. I'm not building in an infighting thing because I don't like when tabletops break down into PvP. But there should be, because that happens a lot. Like there's like infighting in mecha anime does happen, where like emotions get charged and people turn on each other. It does happen. So what would that look like? Hmm. I just realized that the relationship stat in the simple world is essentially my link system, and I don't know how to feel about that. Except there's just having you betray each other. Ugh. Uh, one link level. I like this idea of doing a thing where like you form you have to decide who the leader is in combat. Um and that's gotta follow the fiction. Mm. Okay. Rinku, what's that mean? What's that mean, Nabaru? Let me look that up. Rinku is also a name that means sweet nature or well. Means having, means dignified. Dignity, majesty, awe-inspiring. Oh, hold on. Uh...
接続
No. Renketsu is the Japanese translation of it. Good idea, Nabiru. Very good idea. This one says the Japanese word for link is ikan. Huh. Yeah, that's also true, Nabiru. I picked the one that seemed the easiest to say. Some games have very basic names but tell you plenty like magic. Yeah, that's true. Okay. I wanted. Okay. Okay. And I made sure to put that links. Okay. Okay. All right, now let's start translating this over to a document. Okay, so now let's look at how Simple World is situated. So you have the moves. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot the last part. Almost forgot the last part when I marked the trauma thing. That was the last thing from my notes. What was it? How much trauma did I say it was? 4? After taking the 5th one. Okay. Nothing can remove trauma. That's a very, very important thing to have with the trauma system. So you could take trauma 4 times, but on the 5th time you take a trauma, your character has to either die or be retired or somehow be removed from the game. So that does set an endpoint, which is a thing, like that's not a thing in Masks, but Masks isn't the kind of game to deal with that. But this isn't a teen superhero game. This is a super robot game, and like pilots do die in anime. Like in super robot anime, pilots do die or get taken out, or okay. What I'm worried about is this downtime thing for recovering conditions that I give the pilots is going to make it so that way the pilots are always going to outlive their mechs. I'm worried that this is going to lead to situations where the mechs are going to get taken out and the pilots are going to be left to fight on foot. What I want to happen is it to be, so over the course of a regular fight, assuming both the pilot and the mechs are fully healed at the start of the fight, right? By the time the mech goes down, the pilot will have taken 2 of their 5 conditions, right? And at that point, ideally, the pilot would crawl out of the mech and flee because they can't do a whole lot against mech scale threats. Because they're gonna be taking some enhanced harm, they're gonna be taking a real bad beating if they try to go toe to toe with mech scale threats on foot. But the thing is, mechs can have armor, and mechs can take 10 harm before going down. Most threats, I'm imagining, are going to be doing maybe 1 harm per hit, and it's gonna take about 2, maybe 3 harm to take out most threats, most common threats. There might be like different situations or weaknesses the pilots have to find in order to take out certain enemies, where it might not, where I'm thinking kind of like a monster of the week thing, where it's like you don't just have to do harm to the enemy, you have to figure out exactly how to harm them, how to bypass their defenses. I have to work on threat creation. So like, that's where it's going to come down to threat creation in order to create threats that are going to be a threat to the party. Because like when you've got 3 to 5 players that are going to be doing about 2 harm each whenever they're fighting an enemy, right? That's still going to be a pretty, like that's a lot of damage. But while they're doing it, the party is also getting hit back and taking damage themselves. So it's a bit more of a balanced action economy. We'll see. This is again one of the many things that I can't really know till I playtest. Till I playtest, I can't really know what's gonna happen. Do I want to open a Google Doc sheet? Okay. Okay. Let's work on this like I'm writing a story, right? A basic description of what this looks like. I could do it in Notion and make it a PDF. That could be a thing. So much stuff is still up in the air and needs to be defined. You've been called upon. You can sacrifice part of your humanity, your connections with persons, places. I don't know why I wrote that way. So that is kind of horrific when you think about it. If you're like, yes, I can gain success, but that means that I'm going to lose the ability to care about something as much as I could have. Like that just sounds like so dark and horrific. You know what I mean, Nabiru? Like the idea that like you're a mech pilot, but as part of your powers, you can sacrifice your connection to the world around you. You can sacrifice how much you love things, how much you feel about things in order to gain success. And then it creates this situation where like you're kind of, yeah, very shonen. And in order to maximize your effectiveness, you're trying to do things to rebuild those links, right? You're trying to do things to rebuild those links with other people. But at some point, it's not just about having more links to spend for success. It's about maintaining some part of your humanity in order to still care and love the things that you care and love that you love and care about, right? Like, I don't know, like even if I had that power that like I could automatically guarantee I would be successful at something, if I said I would not care about music as much anymore, right? Or if I would not care about anime as much anymore, right? And just know that I would no longer care about that thing. Like that's dark. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about. Like, you're at some point you have to see what part of this mechanic of the links is utility of guaranteeing success on roles you want to succeed versus maintaining your humanity. Because at some point, as you're if you let yourself slide into that where you're only building connections to the outside world exclusively to trade them in for XP or for success, then what's the difference between you and a machine except you're using, like, you're weaponizing your emotional connections, and that's the idea I wanted to explore of humanity. Uh oh, really? What anime is it, Nabiru? Okay, that's fine. Ugh. Log Horizon, yeah. They lose a little bit of their memories, right? Starting with their oldest memories, moving forward. Right. The more they respawn, the less human they become, and the less they remember about their old world. So I don't know if I've talked about this, but like when Log Horizon, when the first season of Log Horizon came out, it was huge for me and my friends. We were just getting in, we were like getting really serious about Vanguard. We were traveling to tournaments, we were training for team events. Um yeah, that's also true, Nabiru. This is arguably darker because you know from the beginning what you're doing. Um and uh uh you you deal with this stuff. So like when Log Horizon came out, it was like huge for me and my friends. We would watch the new episodes whenever we met together to practice Vanguard. We would be playing at my friend's house. We'd always eat something. We would just chill and watch anime and do lots of stuff. And so we needed a name for our team. So we called ourselves Team Horizon. What was my squad? I had a secondary squad. I think we're like the Team Jin. My squad, that was me, Tetsu, and Queen Dragon Jin. We were Team Jin. I think we were Team Jin. I don't remember what we were. We were Team something for the team events. Ah, my gosh. Honestly, if I get, yeah, I miss Vanguard. I miss all of it. Um, if I get approved, well, not if, when. I have to hold out hope. I have to hold out hope and say it's not an if, but a when I get approved for disability. That's one of the things I'm probably gonna get back into my life is Vanguard. Traveling to Vanguard events and stuff. Uh, and maybe traveling out to the old card shop to see my old friends. The thing is, like, the friend group I had for gaming, for my Vanguard crew, like, they moved further and further from where I live. Like, they started in one area that was like a 20-minute drive from where I live, right? And then they just progressively moved further and further away. Vanguard is a great anime, Superhero 60. It definitely is. Okay. Customized and fine-tuned engine of destruction. How is it already 10:50? Time has flown by. Okay. All right, our scene. Okay. Let me see. Boop. I'm adapting a lot of these. I'm adapting a lot of these from Stormheart Circuit Odyssey, which is a great game. I definitely recommend if you ever are looking for a mech PBTA game that uses dice pools, to check out Stormheart Circuit Odyssey. It's available for free on itch.io. It's a really fun rules light game. I want to play it myself or run it or something with it. The only thing that I don't super like about it is that it does everything with dice pools, and I don't super like dice pools. Because like they just bug me. Because like I've done games with dice pools, and I just feel like it gets super swingy, and it just gets super silly when you just have ridiculous numbers of dice that you're rolling. All right. Okay. Well, that's not the button I wanted. That's not the button I wanted. There we go. That's cool. Ba ba da ba da. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. That's not what I need. Here we go. Okay. I realize when I do this, my face makes weird things. Okay. All right. So we've got this started. Okay. All right, I'll probably tinker with this for the rest of the night, but let's wind down for a little bit. We've been putting nose to the grindstone. Got a lot of good stuff down on my notes. I'll probably transfer this from an open office document into a Google Docs document just to be easier to share with other people. I'll probably move this to a Google Docs thing just to be easier so I can share with other people. And hopefully once I get all this put together into either a Google Docs or a PDF that I can share, whatever form it takes, maybe I can start recruiting people to do some play tests. And see what that looks like. But let's start winding down for a little bit. We got a lot done. Okay. All right, let's... What is this stuff? None of this stuff is what I'm looking for. Oh my gosh. So like there was a whole bunch of drama. Let me change music. Let's change to a lighter playlist. Change to some beats to sleep and chill to. So there was some drama in the Gundam community recently. And like I don't even know how to process it, right? So like there was an interview for a magazine with the voice actress for I think I can't remember if it was Suletta or Miorine, right? And there was an interview, and I can't remember which one it was, but the actress mentioned about the fact that Suletta and Miorine are married at the end of G-Witch, right? At the end of Gundam Witch for Mercury. And like that's how they had their happily ever after, right? And a higher up in Bandai, not like any of the production staff, someone in Bandai, in one of the head CEOs or whatever, I don't know who, but so one of the higher ups in Bandai pulled rank, got the magazine pulled, and got that removed and got it replaced with their relationship is open to interpretation. And the fan base was not happy because like in the final episode there is literally a situation where Eri says you should listen to your sister-in-law and makes a reference to Suletta and Miorine being married. And like, so there were all these memes where people were having that scene and being like non-canon. Yeah, and that's one of the things that made Witch from Mercury so special, was that it was a canon Yuri relationship that had a happy ending. That wasn't some angst-filled uh pain fest, especially in the mecha genre. Like it was this thing that had there was hard times, there was trials, there was tribulations, but it had a beautiful ending, right? And like for Bandai to not realize what they have with that, like yeah, there's that, but also like I don't think that same-sex marriage is legal in Japan. So like I think that comes down to like some of them being afraid of legal backlash or some stuff. Um, and that's part of what made G-Witch so great. Um, it it had some really great themes, and like it didn't do all the like you know, all of the stuff where like lesbians have to suffer, and like yeah, there was hard times. And like I was talking to Silva about it, because like we saw a lot of things where people were talking about all these unresolved plot points in Witch from Mercury. They were talking about all of these conflicts and all of these things that just never got resolved. And Silva had mentioned it, and I mentioned it to Silva that I was like, here's the thing. It's not that kind of story. It's not about all that stuff. All of that stuff, the conflict on Earth, the political drama, the movement of the different factions, all of that stuff in the story existed solely to provide obstacles for the growth of the main relationship of the main couple. Everything was about that relationship. This wasn't about the Earth-space conflict. This was about Suletta and Miorene's relationship. So the story, at least their story, has now been told. Though I still say we need a movie that actually shows the wedding scene. The fact that they ripped us off of the wedding scene is heartbreaking. And I swear, if the reason we didn't have a wedding scene is because some boomer at Bandai didn't want to like guarantee canonize the wedding and wanted to leave it open to interpretation to avoid conservative kickback, I'm going to be so mad. Like, you robbed us of a beautiful wedding scene of these characters we've watched, they've been building up towards it, and then you just didn't have it. Like, it is heartbreaking. And like, I made a comment that I think they should do a movie duology retelling the story, fixing anything that they had to rush over in production, like somehow fixing it, explaining it more, expanding it, cutting things out that they didn't need, and trimming it around to make a better retelling of the story. And then in the second half, have the wedding scene. Though somebody else comment is like, if we get a movie duology, I want the first movie to be just about the wedding, the entire thing about the wedding, and then the second movie needs to be slice of life. I'm like, I could see that. I could see that. Yeah. Let me see if there's any cool memes. But yeah, so like there was that whole upheaval in the Gundam fan base. Yeah, I know that feeling. And like what gets me um like they had like I want Bandai to be successful with G-Witch, to be making money and to be selling kits and to see that this kind of a story is popular. So that way they will give us more progressive stories with Gundam, right? They will be more experimental. They will do more they will have more representation and do more things, right? Um that is what I would like. But also, on the flip side, with this drama happening, I want them to experience some kind of a financial drop off in response to them attempting to decanonize Soleta Miorene's wedding. In order for them to see that you can't just you can't have it both ways. And those two interests are like at odds with each other within me. All right. But that's funny. Let's see. Do we have any other cool memes? Apparently Digimon was trending and someone was like, as it should be every day. I have a whatchamacallit, I have a filter on my Chrome that filters Twitter for me. And it doesn't show me trending stuff, so I don't have to deal with that stuff at all. Oh my gosh. All right. Seeing so many pictures from Otakon makes me sad I didn't go. I couldn't afford to. All right. Okay, this isn't a meme, but this is just something I gotta share because it's really cool. This is something I gotta share. Kilo Thomas, who played Zero from Holes, just won a Mortal Kombat tournament dressed as Powerline from the Goofy movie. That is so silly. But like that combination of things of Holes, Mortal Kombat, Goofy movie was not something I expected to be smashed together in my feed today. Okay. Oh my gosh. You want to see something kind of heartbreaking? It's not really heartbreaking. I think it's just kind of silly. Dog trial. DA, who's a good boy? Dog, wags tail. DA, then how do you explain the scattered trash? Dog, ears droop. Jury gasps. People, I know that like parrots have been called on as witnesses before. I know that happened. Oh. Hold on, I gotta share something. Actually, no, I won't share that. It was a joke about why mech pilots are horny, and talking about like how the mechs obviously have a link to the pilot's nervous system, and give some kind of a dopamine rush on a successful hit, in order to make them feel better. So like getting a successful hit on a 90% accurate flight of LRMs would be enough to make anyone weak in the knees, and I'm like, that's just silly. Oh my gosh, all the silly stuff with Twitter. Or Zitter. Doo. Let's see if we got any other cool memes. But yes, I'm sure someone would sue dogs. I mean, yeah. Apparently, AMC theaters just had their best week in history thanks to Barbie and Oppenheimer. The Barbenheimer experience. Two unlikely movies to just get turned into double features. One of my friends, one of my friends talked about how like they wanted to watch Barbie and Oppenheimer at the drive-thru, but apparently the two companies couldn't agree on letting the drive-thru share them in back-to-back double features. Because they couldn't decide on splitting ticket sales. And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. Yes, for those with ADHD, you get bored with one, you start watching the other. Of course, that's the forehead. The five head move. That's the five head move, Nabiru. Let's see. Oh wow. So, as of so tomorrow is August 1st, and August 1st, 1998 is when Endless Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, that movie, was released. So tomorrow is the 25th anniversary of Endless Waltz. That is so interesting. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Alright, I gotta show you this. Can't afford 20-inch rims? No problem. Just draw the rims out another 4 inches. From far away, it looks the same, right? It's all the same, right, Nabiru? Idiots in cars. All right. Last one to show before we wind down for the night. I saw this one and I had to chuckle, chat. Rare footage of a vegan plane refueling. Nom 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 nom. Going crunch, 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 crunch on the grass. Just going nom 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 nom. You ever been so hungry that you just gotta go nom 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 on the grass? What? Well, you've never heard me do the nom 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 nom. You've never been so hungry that you just nommed on some grass, Nabiru? There's see. Normal people touch grass, but vegans, we nom nom on them. Yeah. Actually, looking at the picture, I really hope that pilot's seatbelt was secured in place. You could see someone in there. Wait. Okay, one more. I know I said that was the last one, but Facebook got the memes. Okay, hold on. I love my kids, but I'm starting to think I don't need to save for their college. And it's a picture of, it looks like one of those oranges or peaches or something in a jar. But instead of using the twist off lid, they just used the can opener. Nabiru. You think your family would do that too? I don't even know. Like I'm just processing what I'm looking at right now. That just looks so silly. It just looks so silly. Yeah, but like, you don't do this. You get like rubber bands or something to give you a better grip. Like, you don't do this. This is what you don't do. Why do I keep looking? Why do I keep looking at Facebook? Facebook's just got all the memes. We're gonna be here all night. Okay. Too late. I feel like it takes more effort to use the can opener at that point. Because you had to fix a can opener on a can that wasn't designed for it, Nabiru. This one really is the last one. We're over time, but... Someone was like, hey God, it's me again. And you can see from the background that they're in motion. And the fact that they pull out the camera when this happened. They're like, you know what? I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna look good on the gram for it. Ooh. That would be the moment when you're just like, This is why bikers wear armor, Nabiru. This is why bikers straight up wear armor. Yes, that would definitely be the dumbest way to go, Nabiru. All right. Okay, let's wind down. We've had enough fun stuff. Well, there's never enough fun stuff. All right. Ugh. Alrighty, so let's wind down for the night. We had a nice night tonight. I'm sure Silva fell asleep somewhere along the way. I didn't see their normal message saying that they were going to bed. But they were dozing off in the beginning of the stream anyway, so I'm sure they probably fell asleep somewhere along the way. So I don't like to say nice things about my viewers at the end of the stream. So to Silva, to Nabiru, to Superhero60, to anybody else who watched the stream and didn't say anything in chat, and to anyone who watches this VOD afterwards, I want to say that I love all of you, and I believe in each and every one of you. I think that each one of you is a special, important, and truly precious individual, and I believe that all of you make this world a better place just by being in it. And I'm grateful every day to live in a world with you in it. Thank you for coming to my stream. Thank you for giving me your time, your energy, and your attention, and thank you for being a member of this community. Always remember the Star Hunter motto: shoot for the stars, have wonderful adventures, live your dreams, and always stop to enjoy the memes. I do ask that you like the stream. It helps the algorithm with pushing it out to other people. And if you have any friends, family, coworkers, nemesis, arch rivals, supervillains, anyone you know that you think might enjoy my content, feel free to show them my content or invite them to the next stream. Next stream is going to be Friday, 8:30 p.m. EST. Might start a little early, not sure. Keep your eyes peeled. I'll post something on Twitter probably a little bit before I go live on Friday, because that's my birthday. I think it's my birthday. Let me double check. Let me double check. Let me check my calendar. Yep, Friday is my birthday. So we'll see what happens. We'll see exactly what happens. I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I might do some editing on my lore novel. Might do just a free chat and just talk about stuff. Maybe I'll do a gaming stream. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But yeah, next stream is gonna be on Friday. It'll be a birthday stream. Not sure what we'll do yet. Maybe I'll actually get off my butt and make and get a new outfit for my model. Pick something up off a booth, some new jacket or something. Or maybe get some armor. That would be nice. Some shoulder pads or something. Oh my gosh, so many thoughts and possibilities. But with that said, thank you for coming. If you want to keep up with what I'm doing on YouTube, you can subscribe and ding the notification bell to let you know whenever I go live and when I release any new content. And please make sure you're still subscribed. Sometimes YouTube will randomly unsubscribe people, or at least that's what I've heard. And if you want to keep up with what I'm doing outside of YouTube, you can follow me on X or Twitter, whatever you're calling it now, or join my Discord. Links to both of those are in the description down below. Always remember, you're never required to donate to come here, and you're never required to give money to be a welcome member of this community. With that said, if you ever feel motivated to donate to help me out, there are links where you can do that in the description down below. And I am grateful to anyone and everyone who has donated in the past to help me with things. I would not be where I am without the help of all of you. Thank you all for being so wonderful and kind and loving. Thank you for giving me your time and your attention and your energy, which is more than payment enough. And I'm grateful to all of you for humoring my silly delusions of being a streamer. And I'm grateful. Anyway, thanks for coming. Have yourselves a wonderful night. And I think you're all amazing.